I'm watching this documentary, Prophecies, or Prophets of Doom. I'll put a link below. Talk about insanity. These guys don't have a clue of how they're creating problems. The first guy, Rupert something or other, totally focused on oil. Says that we've overpopulated the planet all due to oil, which is total insanity. And he'll never see anything different. Because this guy, I haven't watched the full documentary yet to see what his concept of a solution is, but I'm pretty sure, has something to do with wiping off most of the planet. Because um, this guy's so focused on the oil that, oh, must be oil. Population expanded because of oil. And it's like, okay, we do have free energy. So what happens if we had unlimited energy? Because the concept is as soon as we had oil, we could expand. So if we had free energy, where the cost was so cheap that everybody was able to run everything that you possibly could imagine can be run basically free, what would happen? Would we multiply even faster if we actually did things right and didn't do things that actually destroyed the planet? Because that's what oil did. Is oil basically destroyed everything. It created wars. There's probably more people that died from oil than overpopulated. So he'll never ever see a solution, because even if a solution came up, even if we had something better than oil, wouldn't we just expand even more? Especially if it doesn't kill anybody. So it's like, does this guy really want a solution? Would he ever even see a solution if he thinks that we've overpopulated because of the way we've got our energy? If we did get our energy in a right way that didn't kill people, didn't pollute the planet, didn't use up any resources, natural resources, then wouldn't the population expand? And this guy's focus is, oh, the whole problem is going to collapse because we're overpopulated. So I think this guy's ideas would ultimately create more deaths, while he's saying that, so many people are going to die. He's like, you will all die if we follow your advice. And then there's an economist. Love these economists. Can't see that greed had anything to do with anything. Lots of, well, we could have saved, we could have done this, we could have done that. And it's like, no, we could have got rid of the insanity of thinking you need to have more than everybody else. Didn't see anything mentioned about the insanity, the psychopathic behavior that money has created. Why? Because I'm pretty sure this guy's got money with his education and, all of his smarts. Pretty sure that guy's made a pretty penny out of being so smart. So he'll never recognize how insane he is, because great wealth creates great poverty. It's basically profiting off of doing everything wrong. It is being the slave master, which ultimately will cause a lot of problems, in our environment. Then I had to stop and start posting my opinion before I even watched the end, because now this other guy is saying water's our problem, we're running out of water. And it's like, excuse me, I'm looking at how many oceans. There seems to be tons of water on this planet. This planet is mostly water. There's so much water in the air, so much water in the oceans and our lakes. There's no water disappearing anywhere. Yeah, this guy thinks that there's no water. No, the water you got is all polluted. And that's another thing is they can't seem to, like, the word, we live in a limited world, and we're running out of resources. And it's like, nothing's ever gone. Everything always still exists. Everything just transformed from one thing to another thing, but it's still there. A particle, no particle that wasn't in existence when time began didn't go away. All of those particles are still here. They're just transformed into something else that makes you seem, oh, it's gone. It's not gone. It's still here. You can drink water, but guess what? You can piss that water out. And that's still liquid. It's transformed into something else, but it's still water. There's water within piss. So it's like, you didn't get rid of anything. It just transformed into something. Now you're going to say, well, I'm not going to drink piss. And it's like, you don't have to. All we have to do is know how to transform piss back into water. It's all about transformation. How do you transform one thing into another? Now we've got how much pollution on this planet that we think is destroying all of these particles, and they don't exist because we've used them and we've, gotten rid of all of them. And it's like, how come this one guy found the technology that can transform all toxic waste into pure, clean energy? So that means every single ounce of pollution, every single thing that's polluting the air, water, soil, everything, is our new natural resource. If we actually transformed every problem into a solution, we'd be saved. But these prophets of doom don't see that. They'll never, ever, ever see a solution because they're looking through a limited mind. We live in a limitless world. And only when you can see the infinite possibilities do you see the solutions. But these guys will never ever see the solution because they're too freaking insane. They're looking at the glass half empty and they can never see the glass half full. They're saying that you can't just constantly create money and have a limited resources of money. Yeah, you can. What would happen? If we created an economic system where money can be just printed all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, you need it, it can be printed. And there is no debt. And it can be done, but it takes a completely different mindset to be able to see that. Because in their economic structure, what would happen if money was limitless? If we had infinite money, what would really happen to their view of money? It would completely collapse. Because the only way these guys see that money has value is if it's limited. If you only have a few dollars. Because if you have too much, it loses the value of it. It's keeping itself limited that gives it its value. It's like supply and demand. If you have very little and everybody wants it, the value of it goes up. But if it's available to everybody, then the value of it actually decreases. So, but it doesn't mean that you can't do something with it. If it's, if the value is lowered, and available to everybody, then everybody is living within that lowered value. But ultimately, all it is a form of exchange of energy. I do this for you, so you can do this for me. And you get that exchange. It's the push that makes you get up and I've done something, so I receive something in return. You can do it without money. It's a matter of living your purpose and doing something good with your communities, your world. You still have an energy, and there is an exchange of energy. But we only can see that exchange of energy through our currencies. But if you knew how to do things right, you don't even need a currency. But the only way we can tell whether we're doing something right is by the outer world, the extension of ourselves, that money that we can create, that energy that's outside of ourselves. In order to see the value of our energy, we put a dollar on it. So that's where you can see some people think that they're more valuable than other people. Some people do more work for less pay. So that is one of the insanity that all of humanity is dealing with, is a lot of people devalue themselves and they'll sell their souls because they don't see the value in themselves. They'll do what somebody else tells them. And at the same time, we have this insanity where people think that they are more valuable than others. And they sit around and they do next to no work and earn a lot of money. You want to put any natural resource on a stock market and earn money off of a natural resource that isn't really any human energy involved. It's just ownership. You will get a collapse, because at one stage you'll earn money by the ownership of it, the having of it. But then when you don't have it, then you'll earn money by not having it. It's like if we overpollute our planet, it will cause crop damage. It will cause damage to our food source. So if you know that, should I invest in good crops? You'll make more money predicting that a crop will fail. So most of our economic systems now are starting to earn more money off loss. So we're actually creating the loss. We'll actually make sure that our crops are damaged, just so some rich guy will get real rich. So we're not really interested in fixing any problems. It really breaks my heart to see this guy say overpopulation is a problem and focuses on oil, because this guy's main mentality, these would be the good guys that think that, these would be the good aliens, the good people on the planet that want to solve a problem, that don't really know how to solve a problem yet, because they're more interested in population control, killing people. And the bad guys are, just gotten the bad rap that they're the bad guys because they're doing the same game. They're just killing people because they do know that the world is overpopulated and these will make a profit off of it. So, one thing that they were saying is sometimes when you see that negative train coming, it's just too scary to face. And that would be right for them, I guess. I guess they're too scared to face a little bit of reality, because what would it do to their mind? The chaos in their minds to believe, oh, I was wrong about something. Too much for them to handle. They clearly can't recognize and define a problem yet. They know that there's a problem there, but it's not like you're too scared to face it. Your ego just won't allow you to see a solution. You're too dumb to face a solution. So you need to profit all of the bad doom and gloom to the point where you create it. These guys don't have any answers. Why? Because they aren't receptive to receive information that actually gives them a solution. They're too busy focused on the problem that they can't see what the solutions are. While they think that they're talking about solutions, they're still talking about all the problems, and their solutions are more of a problem than the solution, because they got it all wrong. These guys their egos are so massive, and that's our problem, is ego. They're so massive into their ego that if somebody says it could be a little wrong, they'll never hear it. They want to be right no matter how wrong they are, and that's what ends up going to kill us. You have to be willing to be a little wrong to be able to see how right we are.